We launch our today's special, which is the omega-3. It's a brand new formula with more DHA than ever before, best value, lowest price. So be on the lookout. That's coming up in about 28 minutes, our very best value of the day. We're excited about that one. But coming up now, we're gonna talk about another favorite as we talk about the importance of taking care of our veins and our capillaries and our legs. Now let's talk about joints. And this is another example of a total and complete feel the difference, notice the difference product when you take it. If you have joint issues, and you know you do, because when your joints aren't happy, they let you know about it. This is a product that can also make a world of difference.
And I've had a Glucosamine Chondroitin product since 1979, so we've had one for 40 years. And unfortunately, most of the Glucosamine Chondroitin products on the market, whether they're for humans or whether they're for pets, they use a form of glucosamine that isn't established by the science. In fact, they use a form of glucosamine that the science says isn't the form that you should be using. It's called glucosamine hydrochloride. And the form you should be using based on the science is glucosamine sulfate. That's what we use, that's what we've always used. We also use a form of chondroitin that doesn't add sodium to your diet, because most of us aren't looking for more sodium from our dietary supplements. We already consume too much sodium. So our product, easy to swallow, won't upset your stomach, and it delivers the nutrients in the form that they need to be to deliver the benefit. And glucosamine is something that when I'm here, I spend less time talking about the benefits of glucosamine and chondroitin, because those are well established by the science, and most of us know that. But the difficult issue is that most of the products you might try in the market are delivered in a fashion that you can't expect to work. So if you've been disappointed, that's what you should have expected, because they don't follow the research. The research is why these supplements exist. And it's bizarre, strange to me, that most companies making a product using glucosamine uses a form that the science specifically says they should not be using, which is strange.
You see there? Again, another reason why we all love learning, because once you're armed with the right information, Andrew always says, if you don't buy my product, at least you know what to look for. The problem is these formulas are almost impossible to find. So let me show you what the choices are. Today we have a great this visit weekend special price going on, $60, $122, $44, $80. The size is nice big 40-80 here, and you can get that home for $99.90. So you're saving more than you're spending if you're ordering the largest one. You decide the size that best works for you. All of Andrew's products are free shipping and handling. They all, of course, come with your 30-day money-back guarantee. On top of that, we have flex pay on the larger sizes, extra flex pay if you're shopping with your HSN credit card. And if you did have a minute to go read those reviews, because to Andrew's point, you go read them, 4.5, 4.6 average. There's over, I think there's 1,100 reviews. Of that, over 1,000 are perfect 5-star or 4- and 5-star reviews. So it's another one, and this is an example too. You really, truly notice and feel the difference when you take it. And is it not true that these are very expensive ingredients? This is one of the most expensive products to manufacture.
To do it correctly, glucosamine hydrochloride is much less expensive. That's why most companies choose to use glucosamine hydrochloride, because it's so much less expensive. And glucosamine sulfate is more expensive, but that's the form that's been validated by the science. What's interesting, what I've often said about glucosamine hydrochloride, if you need to be consuming more acid with your meals to help your digestion, if you think you need more acid for your digestion, then glucosamine hydrochloride, at least it's providing that hydrochloride group, that hydrochloric acid, so it could help with your digestion if the issue was that you were hypoacidic, if you didn't have enough hydrochloric acid. But just again, just to show the product quickly, it's an ultra-fine powder. And that's another difference, that most glucosamine chondroitin on the market is in a rock-hard tablet. Hard to digest, hard to swallow. It will, again, because of its acidity, could upset your stomach as that tablet slowly disintegrates. Ours is an ultra-fine powder, goes into solution immediately, so it's available for absorption. Yeah, and that's a huge difference.
I think that's the greatest thing about taking these vitamins. If you are new to the world of vitamins, or if you're like a lot of people and you've had a bad experience. And I think a lot of us have been there, where you've taken vitamins in the past, they repeated on you, they upset your stomach, they were rock hard tablets, they were hard to swallow. And so you just sort of gave up because it wasn't worth the bother. Who wants to go, you know, have a stomach ache and have vitamins repeating on you and all of that stuff. So I think for a lot of us, you discover Andrew does this in a way they're easier to swallow. They do not upset your stomach. They dissolve beautifully. They're that proper delivery system so you can absorb and get the benefits you need from these ingredients. It's not a rock sitting in your stomach, but it's all those things that Andrew does. It's more expensive to do that. It's more expensive to make a vitamin like this than just to stamp it into a tablet. But you know that this is the way we're really going to get those ingredients delivered properly and digested properly.
And they're not going to make us miserable. They're not going to be hard to swallow. They're not going to upset your stomach. They're going to work. I mean, we invest our hard-earned money on a product because we have expectations. And if someone makes a glucosamine product not using the form that the science talked about, it's going to be a waste of your money. And there's great science. If we look at this chart, there's great science on glucosamine. Glucosamine, the science has been developing for decades. Not only is there science where people talk about how their joints feel, but there's science where they actually look at x-rays of joints and they actually see the difference that these ingredients can make in the structure of the tissues of the joints. But as you see here, almost 20,000 papers have been published, more than 17,000 on chondroitin, so 19,500 on glucosamine.
Wow.
More than 1,200 have been published on both together, and combined more than 2,600 clinical trials, meta-analyses, and systematic reviews, which are the highest standard of clinical science. So these are both ingredients that have been subjected to a great deal of scrutiny. And again, if you want the benefits, and you want the benefits of all that great science, you have to use the ingredients as the science does. And unfortunately, most of the glucosamine you're going to see in supermarkets, discount stores, pharmacies, out in the marketplace, for you, for the pets that you love, are going to be glucosamine hydrochloride, HCl. The form that the science says you must take is glucosamine sulfate. That's the only form I've ever used in 40 years. It's the only form you should use.
There we go. I know we have to go. If you're ordering yours, thank you so very much. Variety Hour is fun because you get to see a lot of products. Throughout the day, sometimes we spend a little extra time, but just to get you guys the information so that